Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Couple Under Pressure. Thank you for coming over to the channel, checking out some videos for me. I got another little topic for you, and it's having those hard conversations about price changes. So I just did this job yesterday, and it's for one of my repeat customers. This is my 4th year in business, and this was one of the original customers that I went over and I cleaned their house. It was one that I had no idea how to price jobs. And let me kind of set the stage. So when I started my business, I had a Walmart pressure washer that I bought in an effort to basically save my family from going bankrupt, because COVID had hit. We'd lost 2/3 of our income because my wife had stopped teaching. I lost all of my overtime, and things were just not looking very good for us. We were behind on all of our bills. Things were getting out of hand. We were really close to probably filing bankruptcy or losing the house or the vehicles or whatever else we had. So I was in a very desperate situation. So starting out, I needed to find work, and this house was one of those that, you drove around looking for homes that were dirty, and you started marketing to them, which I learned later on is actually a really bad idea, because really dirty homes are dirty because the person doesn't care to get them clean. Anyways, that's a side note. But I'd gone to these people's house, putting out flyers, and I think I had flyered this house like 3 or 4 times within probably a month, because I knew it was just nasty and I really wanted to clean it. And they caught on to the fact that I wanted to clean it because I had flyered it so many times. So they called me and said, hey, we got your flyers, and we noticed that it seems like you want to clean the house, and it does need it. So since you're so desperate to clean our house, why don't you give us a price for it? So I went over and I gave them a price, and I told them for the house, the driveway, and the pool deck, it would be $350, which is dirt cheap. Now, this is a big house. It's dirt cheap. And the wife, I guess knowing that I was desperate, kind of beat me over the head and was like, that sounds like a lot. We don't want to do that. If you'll take $100 off of it and do it for $250, then yeah, we'll let you do that. We'll let you go ahead and do the house. So, me not having any food on the table for my family and my newborn child that I had, decided that $250 was worth me going back over there and cleaning that house. And I spent all day long cleaning this house. It was disgusting. I was literally there for probably 10 or 12 hours cleaning this house for $250. So anyways, that was 4 years ago. The next year I went back and I gave them a quote, decided I was going to stick to my guns and I wasn't going to back off, and I got them to like $350, the original quote that I gave them, which was again still way under market, but it was $100 more than they had spent the year before. And I got the house and I got the driveway and the pool deck. But I was a little bit smarter, a little bit better. So instead of it taking like 10 or 12 hours, I think it only took me like 4 or 5 hours. Again, small setups, didn't really know what I was doing. Last year they called and asked, and all they wanted was the house wash. So I got them for the house for $300. So I kind of just kept incrementally kind of bringing them up. And this being the 4th year, things have changed a lot. I'm no longer that desperate little kid who had his pressure washer, who really wanted to wash that house and make money and put food on the table. The dynamic has changed. The business has grown. I understand better how to price jobs, way better than what I did originally. So this year when we went to quote it, I had my sales manager go out and take pictures of the house and come back and let me know, according to our pricing matrix, because we actually have a whole spreadsheet that's got all the prices listed for every single service, and all the different factors that go into it. I had him go ahead and price it outright if we were going to give them what our current market rate is, that we would quote. If they were a brand new customer today, we'd go out there and we'd quote it. And that total came up to like almost, I think it was over $1,250 if we were to do that house, driveway, and pool deck. So I contacted them and told them, hey, look, there's a big difference between what we cleaned it for the previous year and what we're gonna and what we should be quoting it this year. And I want you to understand that I appreciate you guys being with me for the last 3 years. It means a lot. The fact that you guys have continued to call me back. I know there have been subtle price changes that we've done, but I cannot continue to do that. Cannot continue to operate that way. Things have changed a lot for us between not only like the adding the employees and the additional insurance and understanding how to quote, and then you guys being way underbid the first time that I came out. There have been a lot of changes. So if I was to quote you today, it would be over $1,250 to come out there and do your house, your driveway, and your pool deck. But I've talked to my sales manager. We have adjusted the prices down, and I've gotten it down to $750. So that's a $500 discount from what we would charge if it was just if you guys were a brand new customer and we were coming out to do it today. Now I know it's still a lot more than what you're used to paying, but if we are going to continue to be able to come out there and clean for you guys, like, this is kind of our compromise. This is where we would have to be able to come out there and continue servicing you. And I understand, I fully understand, if one, that it's going to be a shock, and two, if that it'll be frustrating, you know. And if it's frustrating and you guys don't understand it, you don't appreciate it, and you don't feel like you want to continue working with us, I trust me, I get it. It's a hard call for me to make, but unfortunately it's one that I do have to make in order for us to continue to serve you guys and serve everybody else, and to continue to grow and thrive. So I had that conversation, and the conversation went really well with the husband, who's always been cool and complacent. He understands, you know, things change, prices increase, all the inflation we've experienced here lately has definitely added to that as well. And he was okay with it. Meanwhile, the wife in the background just went 90 to nothing, like furious about it, and saying that, oh, how she needed a discount, which, remember, she asked for the discount in the very beginning, and I let her beat me up on price to begin with. And that's another reason why there was such a significant difference in what we should have charged, was because not only did I give them the lowball price in the beginning to get the job, they knocked me down another $100, and I let them do it to me because I had no confidence in myself and I needed the money. So she started spitting off that she needed a discount, and they were on speakerphone, so I told her, I was like, look, I understand. And that's why we took $500 off. So we've already given a significant discount. And I understand it's more than you guys were expecting to pay, but this is where I can happily meet you at. So if you're okay with that, we'd love to keep coming out and serving you guys, because we do appreciate your business, and we do appreciate that you've been with us from the beginning. So that's why we give you the discount. But if not, again, we understand the frustrations, and, you know, we can hopefully maybe help find somebody else that can come out there and take care of you if needed. The conversation, although it's a difficult conversation to have, I found was actually very easy to have, because the expectations for the outcome, I didn't have it set one way or the other. So when your expectations are just to be open and honest with somebody, and to be transparent about this is why things are the way they are, and to be comfortable with, you know, well, if they leave or if they choose to stay with us, either way is fine, then that conversation can be a lot easier. And I know that's a hard conversation to have with a lot of your customers, especially as you grow, to start going up on price. But at the same time, like, if that customer truly values you and your service, and they want to continue to see you thrive, they may have been anticipating it this whole time anyways. And if they're not okay with the idea of you being profitable and being able to, you know, make a living and provide for your family and provide for your employees' families, then they might not actually be a good customer for you. And they may have been staying with you this whole time because they've been taking advantage of the fact that you were giving them a discount, or you didn't change prices on them because you didn't understand how to price that long ago. So those conversations are only as hard as the expectations you set for like the end result. Now, if it's a customer where like you're really gunning for keeping them and you don't want to get anybody upset, and you've got all these expectations of, I don't want to upset anybody, I really want to keep them on as a customer, I'm worried that they might leave a bad Google review, that conversation is going to be difficult, and you may find yourself second guessing or even just retracting the whole increase altogether and just going straight back to serving them for the same low rate that you've been giving them already. So be transparent, be honest, and do not set such high expectations of the outcome on those situations, and I'm telling you, it'll make those conversations a lot easier to have. So if you guys have experienced any of that, please feel free to leave comments in there. I know I ask you guys all the time, but I love being able to respond to you guys. Yeah, just let me know if you've experienced that and how you've handled it, and if you think that maybe that's a good piece of advice, to maybe limit your expectations on the outcome and just have a general conversation with the individuals. And sometimes it's a challenge trying to explain to somebody who's not business minded, who's not business oriented, how things work. Obviously, like, you should never have to justify your prices or the value of your services, but if you do have somebody that has been using you and wants to continue using you, it might be worth a little bit of extra effort just to be open, honest, transparent with them, and explain to them the reasons like why you've had to increase your prices and the things that you've experienced, and so on and so forth. So anyways, as always, appreciate you guys, love the feedback.